Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It's Monday morning and as you can see I'm in the woods today, not in the fields, because I'm heading this way into what I call the secret woods because no one ever goes there, and there's my contemplation log there and I need to contemplate some things, so that's where we're headed. I did a 3.25 hour live stream last night about the Summer Wells case. When I got off my live, Ziggy was live. So I started watching Ziggy and I've got to say my mind was blown. But my mind was running at about 50% of its normal speed because I've been talking for 3.25 hours. And how on earth people do 8-hour lives and still remain conscious, I've got no idea. But my mind was blown by the information that Ziggy presented. And I'm going to have to go and listen to it again and really think about it. But its relevance to not only Brandon Lawson, but Hawkins County as a whole is very important, because if we're wanting to understand what's going on in Hawkins County, which might give us clues as to whether the investigation into Summer has been thorough, whether it's been compromised. I believe it's been compromised right from the outset. That's my belief, my opinion. I can't prove it, but Ziggy did say that she wants creators to help her do this research. So I'm making this video today without doing an awful lot of research into it myself, simply because I want it out there that creators who do research, please look at this, please investigate this, please investigate the church that Ziggy talked about and the name Ziggy mentioned. Because there's some dodgy dealings, at the very best we can call them dodgy dealings, going on in Hawkins County. So like I said, I'm going to have to go back and watch all of this information again to really try to understand what this means. So this video is going to be a little bit all over the place, just talking through some of the things I remember from that live, the important bits, the bits that blew my mind. I was going to do Quinton Simon video today, but I'll leave that till tomorrow. The FBI are resuming the searches in the landfill today for little Quinton, and I need to catch up on the latest developments of what people in the neighbourhood have been saying, what the friends and family have been saying. I know there's been some streams about it, so I'm leaving that for now and just concentrating on the information that Ziggy presented regarding the dirty dealings in Hawkins County. Alright, so according to Ziggy, and this is all according to Ziggy, remember I've not done this research myself. According to Ziggy, the church that Brandon Lawson was, people have said, the deacon of, or a youth pastor, is called Barham Baptist Church. And it's got an address in Hawkins County. But this address is a little bit kind of guarded. On records, gives different addresses for it. Could be a simple mistake. But who owns this church? And this is what Ziggy was confused about. But it seems that this church links back to the Lawsons. But it also links back to someone called Roger Stewart and his son Kevin Stewart. And it seems that Roger Stewart is somewhat of a big shot in Hawkins County. He buys and sells properties. One property that the Stewarts owned was sold to no other than Ronnie Lawson. And it seems that over the years, Roger Stewart has bought and sold properties, sold them to his son, got them back again. There's a lot of movement of ownership of these properties, and Ziggy wondered why. That are they laundering money? by buying and selling properties. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying and selling properties, guys. There really isn't. There could be completely innocent explanations as to why he's doing this. It could be legal. I don't know the tax laws in the United States, and particularly in Tennessee. It could be perfectly legal, like to get some kind of tax relief or something like that. Can I get through that way? Yeah, possibly. We've had such mild weather. Oh, bloody hell. We've had such mild weather that this stuff here isn't dying. That's like, some of that's like 7 foot high still. In the winter you can get through there, but not today. Not yet. We need some frost because it's been so mild. There's still all the bugs out. I'm getting bug bites every time I go out. I think there's a new generation of bugs that's been born because the weather's been so mild. Anyhow, we're nearly at the contemplation log now. Yeah, it could be perfectly legal, right? Could be for tax reasons, but for legal means. Or it could be for nefarious reasons. This movement of property needs to be looked at much more closely, in my opinion. But what does this mean for Summer's case? This isn't poison ivy, by the way. We don't have poison ivy in the UK. It's just regular ivy, if anybody concerned. Here we go. I'm going to take a seat on the contemplation log and do some contemplating. No one ever comes here, so it's a nice quiet spot. So the Stewarts buying and selling property. One property bought by Ronnie Lawson at some point. So what, I hear you say, and so what indeed. But my ears pricked up when Ziggy mentioned a wife of Roger Stewart, who is much younger than him. Now, I did a little bit of digging into this woman, but my mind was mush, so I could be missing a whole big chunk here. Didn't clear my mind and get back to this later today. Alright, so there was a woman called Rachel who, according to Ziggy, married Roger Stewart. I'm wondering though, given the ages, because Roger Stewart's an old dude and this Rachel woman is only 39 years old. All public records, right? So was she actually Roger's wife or was she Kevin's wife? Because Kevin is the son of Roger, so they would be of more similar age. So I'm wondering that. And I did a quick look for this woman and found that she shared an address, like Kevin's name comes up when you look at previous addresses. So yeah, it doesn't matter whose wife she was, to be honest, because her last name is Gourley. So Gourley, Gourley. My ears pricked up because there's a family of Gourleys that live on Ben Hill Road. And as far as I remember from Ziggy's stream, she didn't talk about this. But we've got to think about it. Now, the Gourleys that live on Ben Hill Road have been helpful. They actually were on, I think it was a clip by WJHL, talking with the private investigators. So I'm not in any way, shape or form accusing the Gourleys, Mr. Gourley, who lives at 178 Ben Hill Road, public records, of anything. Right? Nothing. I've looked at his criminal record in Hawkins County and he's got none. It's just the name that made me go, wait a minute, I know that surname, and it's an unusual surname, Gourley. So to have a Rachel Gourley associated with the Stewarts and then a Mr. and Mrs. Gourley who live on Ben Hill Road. It's yet another coincidence in this bizarre investigation where there's so many things that look like coincidences. But are they coincidences, or is there something in this? So with my mind completely mush, I tried to find a link between the Gourleys on Ben Hill Road and Rachel Gourley, who's associated with the Stewarts. Again, not accusing the Gourleys on Ben Hill Road of anything whatsoever. And I'm not accusing Rachel Gourley of anything, or the Stewarts of anything, other than buying and selling properties, which could be perfectly legal. It's just weird. It just struck me weird that Gourley is an unusual surname. So is there a link between Mr. and Mrs. Gourley on Ben Hill Road and Rachel Gourley? If there is, what does that even mean? Is it just yet another coincidence? Now, I looked up the previous addresses for Mr. Gourley, who lives on Ben Hill Road, and he comes from Maryland. His previous addresses are in Maryland. So it looks like he's moved to Tennessee rather than being a native of Tennessee. However, I can only get his last 4 addresses. So is he from Tennessee? Possibly. Moved to Maryland and then come back? And is he a relative of Rachel Gourley? And I can't find anywhere where they've shared an address. But I might be missing huge chunks because I was so tired last night. But this is just a call, as Ziggy did, a call to creators to look into this in more detail. Not to accuse anyone, not to say I found some links between Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and these rich Stewarts and this church and the people who live on Ben Hill Road. We're not. It's just a coincidence that's very troubling in my mind. It needs investigating. It needs investigating further. So watch this space, because that's what I'm going to be doing today, and I'll let you know my findings. Alright guys, let's take a little walk. Secret end of the video club, stand by for some Cassie and Tilly footage. Alright folks, I'm going to say goodbye here. I hope this video has given you some pause for thought, and those into doing research into summer wells, something to really dig your teeth into. Let's research the hell out of these possible connections. We may just hit on something, or not, who knows. I've been Michelle, hope you're well. See you in the next video. It's goodbye from Miss Cassie Springer and Miss Tillington. Bye guys.